And as we gather here on the land of the Algonquin people, who are the indigenous people of this area, who are still struggling for their rights. They have not got a treaty. This is unceded territory. And so we express our gratitude and our solidarity with them as we support the struggles of the people in Palestine. The prologue takes place outside of Bethlehem, and a young couple are walking up a dark street, making their way into Palestine. It's raining, it's cold, it's December the 24th, and the couple are struggling along. The woman is very obviously pregnant. Her husband is carrying a big backpack. And they are looking for somewhere to stay, and they enter the brightly lit lobby of the Alexander Hotel.
Have you a room available?
Sorry, we're full tonight.
They turn and leave and walk out of this hotel.
You must be so tired with that load. How was your back?
I'm fine. How's your back? Have you felt any more contractions?
No, I think it was just indigestion. I'm fine. Sure would be nice to lie down.
They see a small hotel, the Hotel of Peace. The lobby is shabby and poorly lit. A clerk appears.
Do you have a room available tonight?
I'm sorry, I just rented out our last room. Have you tried the Three Kings?
Thanks, we will now. I can see it from here.
They turn and trudge on.
I never imagined this. I thought we'd be safe with my parents and be warm and comfortable. This is terrible. It's a terrible experience for you.
I'm okay now, and you have all our things on your big back. Wait, there it is. Let us hope I don't see many people in the lobby or restaurant.
They enter the Three Kings and walk through an empty lobby to the front desk, where a clerk sits and stares at them.
Do you have a vacant room?
We are full.
He turns back to his computer. They leave and continue walking more slowly now, pulling plastic capes over them as the rain falls harder.
I think we're getting close to the wall. I can see a Chinese restaurant ahead. Let's go get something to eat.
I'd love to sit down and have some tea. Maybe they can tell us where to find a room.
They enter the Tashi restaurant, where the waiter is sweeping the floor.
Can we get something to eat?
I'm sorry, the kitchen is closed, but we can give you some tea and a pastry if you want to sit down while we clean up.
Oh, tea would be great. Do you know where we might find a hotel nearby? We have been walking all over. We got here late. There was a checkpoint search of vehicles when we got to the edge of town. We waited 3 hours in a bus. I live in Jerusalem, but we could not get in at the checkpoint. My wife was refused entry. I can't reach my family.
I'm Palestinian, but Israel won't let me into Jerusalem. I come from Jenin.
I want her to meet my family and stay in their home while the baby is born.
When you leave, turn right along the wall. There's a new hotel there. Maybe it has rooms vacant.
He waves away their offers to pay.
Forget it. It is a small thing, an early Christmas gift. I wish I could take you home with me, but I'm sleeping on the floor of my friend's home. Good luck. I hope you find a room. Inshallah.
They cover up again and walk down the dark street beside the wall and see a sign. That is the end of the prologue, and we now have scene 1. When they enter the walled-off hotel and walk up to the clerk.
Do you have a room available for us? It is late and we're very, very tired.
I'll see what I can do.
He looks up at his computer screen and papers on the desk, and he looks at the clock.
It is after 11 p.m. We have been holding a room for a woman from Canada, but she's not come or contacted us. I don't think she's coming tonight. Here's the room key. for room 25. It's only one flight of stairs. It's a small room, but it's all I can offer you. If it's okay, come back down and register.
He returns to his work, and all is quiet except the sound of church bells.
Help! The baby's coming! Call a doctor, quick!
Okay, I'm calling. Adam here at the Waldorf. Can you come right away? A baby's being born in one of our rooms. Okay, thank you. Dr. Barghouti will come, but it may be 10 or 15 minutes. He's a good friend. He will help.
A taxi has stopped outside, and a woman enters unnoticed. Dr. Joan Patterson comes in with her suitcase, and she hears their conversation.
Maybe I can help. I'm a doctor.
Come now! Follow me!
Okay.
They hurry up the stairs, but 10 minutes later, Dr. Barghouti arrives.
Sorry, Adam. I came as fast as I can. Where should I go?
Please go up to room 25. There's a foreign woman helping. She is a doctor. She says she's a doctor.
When Dr. Barghouti enters room 25, Dr. Patterson turns around holding a bundle.
It's a girl.
I see I'm too late. Is everything all right?
Reuben rushes to the bed and strokes Zena's forehead.
I am just fine. We have a beautiful daughter. Welcome, Ava.
We'll go and find some blankets and linen for you and some hot tea to bring up. You both really need to rest now.
I'm pleased to meet you. Brad Barghouti. I work at the Bethlehem General Hospital.
We are Reuben and Zena.
And now,
Eva as well.
I just arrived from Canada, Joan Patterson. I need to go downstairs and register now.
The two doctors leave. They stop outside the door. They shake hands and then make their way to the lobby to the desk.
The midnight traffic slowed me down. I'm so glad you were here.
I just arrived when the clerk was calling you, and I had to offer to help. He was frantic. And when I got to the room, the baby's head was crowning. And now I'd like to register. I'm Joan Patterson. I have a reservation and I'm from Canada.
Oh no, I thought you weren't coming. It's past midnight now, and I gave your room to the couple you just helped. I must apologize. I'll call another hotel and try and get a room for you.
Please don't. It's so late. It's now December 25th. This town will be full of Christian pilgrims. Please let me call my mother. She stays up late reading. She has a nice guest room in her apartment and enjoys visitors. She speaks English. She's a teacher and a poet. I have an apartment above hers, and my sister and her family are on the ground floor.
Dr. Barghouti goes to his phone, and Dr. Patterson nods hesitantly.
Dr. B and his family are very good people. They have a nice home. They're good friends of the hotel. It would be better if you go with him. His mother will take good care of you.
If you agree, we can go now. And please call us if anything happens. The woman and her baby seem fine.
Thank you. And can you please send up some blankets and tea to room 25? And I'm glad you gave them my room. I'd sleep in the lobby if I had to.
Good night, Adam.
Good night, Brad. Thank you, and give my best wishes to your mother. And thank you, Dr. Patterson, for being so kind.
Please come. My mother is waiting. She wanted to know when you were last ate. And I want to know what you're doing in Bethlehem at Christmas. Do you come for the celebrations at the Church of the Manger?
They leave and enter his car, go into his car. And that is the end of scene 1. Scene 2, the next day, December the 25th, in the lobby of the hotel.
The family are having a long sleep-in. It was good to find Sister Barkar, and she will visit them later today and arrange for them to come for a complete checkup at the postnatal clinic tomorrow. What did you think of the hospital?
I like the level of caring, and you have a lot of nurses compared to a Canadian hospital, and they seem to really have the time to help patients. They're so warm and involved. I look forward to meeting Dr. Khalidi tomorrow. He was really welcoming in his letter, and he has arranged a place for me in the gynecology department for 3 months, starting in January. I thought I'd get settled this week and learn some Arabic.
It will be great to have you at the hospital. I already know how good you are in an emergency, and we have lots of those, sad to say. My mother really enjoys your company. She does not have many guests who want her to read poetry aloud at 1 in the morning. She would like you to stay on with her as long as you like, but I wonder, why did you come here? What about your work in Canada?
I'm a hospital doctor, but I was getting burned out with the drug overdose emergencies, and I hated the way that others treated people with addictions. I watched too many people die needlessly. We have an active solidarity group, and I have friends who've been here and heard their stories, so I took a 3-month leave at holidays and contacted your director, and you know the rest.
Where did you plan to stay? Our home is yours.
You're very generous. I plan to stay at the hotel for a week or so and try to find a small apartment near the hospital. It's very kind of your mother to let me stay while I find a flat.
Zena and Reuben enter with baby Eva.
Good morning, Merry Christmas.
We want to thank you. Words are not enough. You brought Eva into this world.
She's so beautiful and nursing well. She's growing before our eyes.
Zena passes the baby to Dr. Jones, who takes her and holds her close.
Oh, you did the hard part. She's lovely.
And Dr. Barghouti, you rescued Dr. Joan after we stole her room.
Here's an appointment card. Please see District Barkara tomorrow, and she will take care of the legal and health records for you. And you will both have a complete checkup. And you did my mother a favor. She's happy to have Dr. J as a guest.
Definitely better than the chair in the hotel lobby.
And Arula, the manager of the hotel.
Good morning, welcome to the Waldorf Hotel. So here's my new guest. How lovely she is, and our first berth in the hotel. Are you comfortable in room 25?
We are just fine and hope we can stay for a few days. Dr. J has a place to stay now.
My parents are hoping to come tomorrow, and they're trying to see how they can drive us into Jerusalem. Their car has Israeli plates. They are so eager to meet Eva.
I'm sorry if it's a bit noisy here. There's a conference in the meeting room, and sometimes it gets heated and voices rise. There are local people meeting about the one-state solution with foreign activists and some Israelis who support an end to the occupation. More settlements being built all the time. I don't know what these Jewish friends can do. They are a minority in their society.
But it all helps. The world is beginning to understand what the occupation is doing to Palestine.
I think I'm getting tired. I'd like to thank you all for the tea and the food. You send and help with the room.
Thank you all for everything. We will see you later, I hope.
There's a lot of noise from outside. What's going on?
I heard a girl was shot in the market near the mosque and Manger Square early this morning before the tourists arrived. I think some people from the church and the mosque are demonstrating at the gate around the corner. They are peaceful. They are chanting in English, Hebrew, and Arabic. No more killing. End the occupation. So far, no Israeli soldiers have turned up.
Sounds of shots and screams.
They are firing tear gas missiles into the demonstration. I think they are shooting at the people now.
They all get up and rush to the window and look out. The door bursts open. Demonstrators with blood on their clothes, holding cloths to their face, rush in. They cry, "Please help us."
Lie down on the floor. We will look at you. We're doctors. Who's bleeding?
Dr. Jones kneels down beside a boy. Reuben brings towels and hot water to the doctors.
Let me see your eye. Why, you're just a child. Thank you, Rula.
And as they treat the demonstrators, the door opens and 2 more people come in carrying a body.
Put him down. I'm afraid he's dead. No signs of life left.
Please, we must hide the body. The Israeli soldiers will come here and take our friend Ali's body.
Come quickly through the kitchen into our storage cellar. Lay him down there and lock the door inside. I'll put boxes in front of it.
More demonstrators with blood-covered faces come in the door.
Let me see your eye. Oh, it's a skin wound on your forehead. I think your eye is fine. Hold the towel against it.
But this young man here is losing blood. Thank you, Adam. I'll bind his head wound with these. It will staunch the bleeding until he can get stitches. I called the hospital to send ambulances to the back entrance on the next street. I'll put a tourniquet on this boy's arm.
It's okay, you'll be fine. It's a flesh wound. What's your name?
I am Musa. I am 12 years old and mother did not know I came. But they shot my cousin this morning. My whole family's at Andy's house, but oh, this hurts.
The door of the meeting room opens and a man, Ben, comes out.
What is all the noise? We're trying to have a meeting here. Oh my God, is that you, Aaron? What are you doing here? And your arm is hanging and your leg is bleeding?
I will look at his arm. Do not move, please. Dr. Joan, will you look at his leg? Please step aside, sir. Do you know this young man?
He is my son. I had no idea he was here. He's supposed to be at home in Tel Aviv, studying for exams. I can't believe this.
It's a flesh wound. I've removed the bits of gravel, but it needs stitches. How was his arm? Thank you, Adam. That'll hold the wound together.
Aaron, I'm going to put your broken arm on your chest and bandage it until you can get to a hospital and get a cast. Now we have stretchers. We can move all those who need to be carried. The rest of you who can walk will go with you. Can you help at the hospital, Dr. Joan?
I'm coming. I'll help Musa, and then later we can call his family. Can Aaron's father come with us?
Yes, if there's room. Otherwise, come by taxi to Bethlehem General Hospital and ask for me, Dr. Brad Bahuti. Now let's go through the kitchen and load into the ambulances. Time to get away.
They leave with the wounded and paramedics.
I'd better clean up and clear away some of the bloody linen.
Adam starts to work and the door of the meeting room opens and a woman comes out and says, "Where's Ben? And what was all the noise? What's going on?"
There's been...
The door opens and two Israeli soldiers swagger in.
Where are all those cockroaches who came rushing in here?
Sorry, sir, I'm the cleaner. I just arrived. Shall I call the manager for you?
Ah, forget it. We squashed a few. Maybe a few will die. We should have got more. A nice bonus for Christmas.
Yeah, let's go. I got this hot chick from Alabama waiting to jump me when I get home. A real Christmas present for me.
I wonder where they all disappeared to.
I said, let's go.
They leave and Adam turns to the silent people gaping at the meeting room door.
Please return to your meeting. Ben will be back soon.
I saw the ambulances leave from the laundry room. Do you think it's safe to open the storeroom door now?
Well, let's take some food and water to the men there and see what they want to do.
They move boxes and knock on the door.
Here's some tea and food. Do you need blankets? You look cold.
I can call a friend with a big van so you can take Ali to his family and go to the morgue with them.
Thank you. We feel very weak also, but if you call your friend, we can go with Ali. Do you have anything we can cover him with?
Adam returns to the lobby. Guests drift in. They're subdued. One guest says, "We heard shooting and saw clouds of tear gas. We didn't expect that on Christmas Day. And there were soldiers in the church." End of scene 2. Scene 3. A few weeks later. Dr. Joan comes in the hotel door.
Thank you for coming. Musa's mother, Miriam, wants to meet you. She should be here soon.
What about you? You're always here. Have you always worked in hotels? How did you get this job?
I was a language teacher, English and German. I used to teach at a girls' high school. My husband was also a teacher. He was involved in the Intifada in Nablus, his home city. Maybe you have read about the Israelis coming through the wall with a bulldozer and burying a group of people alive. He was one of them. We had not started a family, so I came back here to live with my sister Riva and her family. I did some tutoring, but I was in shock for a long time. I went back to teaching here, and then one day a friend asked me to help her at her guest house for visiting activists. She did not speak English. She got very sick, and I ended up managing it. Adam is my cousin and had heard about a new hotel opening, so he arranged for me to have an interview when he did. He's trained also as an accountant, so he can do that on the side. I like working here. I meet many interesting people, like you. And I'm busy all the time. I have a small apartment at the back, next to rooms for Adam and his brother, Mustafa, who also works here. A woman in our culture needs male relatives close by.
But do you get any time for yourself?
Not much, but I like being busy all the time. And I have a family here, and I'm included in lots of gatherings. What about you? Are you married?
No, I went to medical school and then became a hospital doctor because my mother needed a lot of support. And then eventually she had dementia and I had to get caregivers for her, so I needed regular work hours. And she died peacefully in her sleep about 2 years ago. I really miss her, but I was fortunate to be able to keep her at home at the end. So then, now I have time for community life. A friend who had been to Palestine told me about her travels and got me involved in some solidarity work. And I started to study Arabic and needed a break, so here I am.
The door opens and Musa rushes in.
My mother sent me. She's very sorry, but she cannot come. My aunt is expecting twins, and she may be ready to give birth, so she is with her. Now that I am here, can you help me with my homework? I find biology and chemistry very difficult. Instead, I will in science before I can be a doctor.
Okay, let's see what you have to do. Oh yes, I can be there soon. Well, Musa, I may meet your mother after all. The hospital wants me to come and help with the birth of twins. Can you stay here? Willa, may I pay Musa to have some supper here? If I can't get back, will you make sure he gets home safely?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, now you need to go. The babies may not wait.
End of scene 3. Scene 4, several weeks later. It's evening in the piano bar, and it is full of local and foreign visitors. And Dr. Barghouti enters.
Welcome, Brad. It's good to see you. I have a table in that quiet corner for you. Someone will serve you soon.
Good to see you, Adam. Is it okay if I wait out here for Joan? How are you and your family?
Everyone is fine. The tourist business is slow now, so we are working on the house, doing repairs and painting. And I have time to see my fiancée, Leila. She is in her last year of studying to be an interpreter and translator in Hebron. She's very serious and very smart. Where's Dr. Joan?
She's gone out with a group called Christian Peacemakers from Canada to a village that is being bulldozed by the Israelis. I'm worried about her. I hope nothing happens to her. She's later than I expected.
The door opens and Dr. Joan enters.
Oh, Rad, I'm sorry we're late and I need your help. We have a very frail and sick couple from the village in the van. They're in shock from seeing their home bulldozed for the 6th time. Will you come with us to emergency and help get them into the hospital? They're weak, and apart from that, I think they also have pneumonia.
They leave and then return a few hours later.
Let us sit down and have something to eat now. What would you like?
Oh, just some mez. I'm not very hungry. Rad, you were great getting Gina and Mahmoud into a room and receiving treatment so quickly. How long do you think they'll be able to stay in the hospital?
It will be a few days to finish tests and stabilize them before dispatching them. What then? What do they have to go back to?
Well, their family have some tents. They say they'll rebuild their homes. They have no intention of leaving. There they stay. If Mamuna and Gina are still weak, they can stay here for a while. I've checked and room 25 will be free the day after tomorrow.
Joan, you're amazing, organizing care for them. You seem like you have been one of us for a long time. I cannot imagine. Joan, I'd like to talk about the future, our future. Sorry, it's my brother-in-law. Yes, Rami. He has a car, and he is here to pick us up. He can wait until we have eaten. Hello, Rami. Sit down for a few minutes.
End of scene 4. Scene 5. Several weeks later, Dr. Joan enters the hotel and goes to Rula's office.
Joan, sit down, you look terrible. What is wrong? Have you been crying?
Thank you. I'm exhausted and I'm shocked. This morning I went out to the village of Termazaya with some patients who invited me to come and visit them and help plant olives. It seemed like a nice thing to do on my day off and see some rural life, and the farmers were so welcoming. After lunch at their home, a group arrived in a truck with the trees and we walked out across the fields. I met a man, you probably know him, a cabinet minister named Zaid Abi Ain. He had come to help plant trees. As we walked to the fields, a gang of Israeli soldiers came over the hill and started to hit people and tried to stop us. Zaid spoke to them, and before I knew it, one soldier was holding his throat and strangling him. He was choking and gagging, and others tried to pull the soldiers away from him. When they finally did, he was unconscious, and then he died in the ambulance from Termazaya to Pamala. I cannot forget his face, such pain. The soldiers, kids really, like, and so brutal and inhumane. I kept thinking about his widow and family.
Rula puts her arm around Joan's shoulder.
I shouldn't have told you. It must bring back terrible memories for you, and you know how his wife feels today.
They sit in silence, crying quietly for a long time. In the lobby, Dr. Rad enters.
Hello, Adam. How are you? I've come to meet Joan. She went on an olive tree planting trip today, and she was really looking forward to dirt digging in the earth and being on a farm for change. She should be here soon. My mother is at a meeting at the university, so we can eat out and have a quiet talk.
Rod, I have good news. I want to invite Dr. Joan and you to our engagement party. Layla will be finishing exams and we can celebrate. I hope you both can come. As you know, these parties is a good time for others to propose.
Joan comes out of Rula's office.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rad, I didn't know you were here. I was sitting in Rula's office.
Joan, what has happened to you?
I'll tell you when we sit down. I need some mint tea. I feel really weak.
A few hours later, in the dining room.
What a tragic story. These things happen so often. But we're still in pain. We never get used to this cruelty. If we hate, we are in danger of becoming evil ourselves. Hate was to destroy us and our hopes. We're willing to live in peace if only they would end the occupation and stop taking our land. I can understand you do not want to eat. We can go home after your tea, but I would like to talk to you about your plans. Does witnessing this terrible act change your thoughts about Palestine? What are you...
Good evening. I thought I saw the two of you here, and I'm so happy to find you. I want to thank you again for taking good care of my son, Aaron. He's still getting the use of his arm back, so no more demonstrations. But he's become involved in a new group on campus. It's called For One Democratic State. And, well, is this not a good time to discuss it?
Let us just step out and let Joan rest. She's had a nasty shot. What do you want to speak about?
Well, a group of Israeli doctors called Israeli Physicians for Human Rights would like to come here to meet some of your doctors, to communicate with you and to strengthen our support. In others, to help whenever we are needed.
This isn't a great time for a long discussion. Give me your card, and when I've spoken to our chief doctors at the hospital, I'll get back to you. Good night. My mother is waiting for us. Let us go now if you wish.
Yes, please take me home.
End of scene 5. Scene 6. It is the end of March, and the President of the United States of America has announced that the embassy of his country will be moved to Jerusalem. Palestinians know that the construction has already started, and 20 families have been driven off their property and their homes have been destroyed.
Good morning, Adam. When do you expect the driver to come and take me to the bridge?
He should be here in 30 minutes. Let me order a coffee for you. Rula wants to say goodbye to you, and we're all sorry you're leaving.
Rad walks in the door.
Joan.
He stands in silence and looks at her. But then Rula comes from the kitchen.
We are going to miss you, Joan. When will you come again? You are part of the family here, even if you did not sleep in one of our beds.
The door opens and Zena and Reuben come in with baby Eva.
We came to thank you again, and we want to show you how much Eva has grown. We have a flat in my parents' house, and I have a part-time job teaching English at a high school. My parents brought us here. They should be along soon. They want to meet all of you.
We had to come and say goodbye. I'm sorry we haven't come earlier. We've been so busy. I am tutoring students in mathematics and physics.
Oh, maybe you can help me with my homework now as Dr. Joe leaves. My marks have improved. I'm trying to keep them up so I can get a scholarship to be a doctor.
That is terrible. I will tell our guests, thank you. They're shooting in Jerusalem at a crowd opposing the building of the U.S. consulate. And there's a demonstration in the square because a teenage girl, Lila Massoud from Hebron, has died in an Israeli jail. She was accused of pulling a knife on a settler when she was pruning olive trees. She's been here for weeks. No one knows what happened. And now there are clashes at the site of the planned embassy. People are rushing to the checkpoints and gates. The Israelis have closed all the roads out of town to stop people from joining the demonstrations.
Joan, you won't be able to leave and get to the Amman airport for your flight home.
Shouts and screams. More and sounds of shots.
Please, Zena and Reuben, take a key and go upstairs. And keep Eva safe. Room 25 again. Call your parents not to risk coming. We will come for you when it's safe.
Adam starts moving furniture and gets out a box of bandages and rubber gloves. Joan takes off her coat, moves her baggage, and puts on rubber gloves.
I'm so sorry I need these again so soon.
Joan, what about your flight and your job in Canada?
The door opens and blood-covered demonstrators rush in.
Please, help us!
Dr. Joan and Dr. Rad start tending the wounded.
Please sit still while I check your wound.
I will look at your ankle.
While they are tending the wounds,
I had already canceled my flight and resigned from my job. I was just going to Jordan to renew my visa. I'm staying here. I arranged it with Dr. Khalid. I wanted to tell you when you came to say goodbye, but just when the phone rang.
Joan, I'm without words. Will you stay, and will you?
Yes, and yes, Rad.
as more demonstrators come through the door, the doctors stand up, clasp hands for a moment, and then return to the wounded. Behind them, Adam and Rula are listening as they hand bandages and towels.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Can we have the wedding here?
the end.
Oh, look out. Oh, yes.